I run out of things to do that are not painting, and so I'm painting.
Why this feeling so strong?
Getting started is the toughest thing sometimes. Off we go! Sometimes you just gotta get started. I've been reading comments from new artists online, like on Reddit and YouTube and different places, where they're addicted to watching the how-to videos, but they're not actually picking up pencil and putting it to paper and getting started. You might call it procrastination, but really sometimes it's just getting over the overwhelm and the fear. And even the most seasoned professional artists have a hard time getting started. I can tell you from personal experience, sometimes it feels a lot easier to just put your feet up and Netflix and chill and just stream, because I am kind of addicted to story. So here are my tips on how to get started. Planning helps. Taking each project in stages will help. And if you consider it a sort of a ritual to yourself and to creative process and creativity, that can really help too. It's kind of all in the mindset, right? Quite often I design a big project, sometimes even the littler projects, so I will sketch them. And I find a cozy place with my pad of paper or my iPad, and I start drawing out my ideas until I feel like I've gotten somewhere. So that's the first thing I do, and that's part of getting started. The next step for me is cleaning up and organizing my creative space. So I'm lucky enough I have a studio, but I do have multiple projects coming and going. I will put away the stuff from a previous project or stuff that maybe I'm in the middle of but won't be back to for a little while. Maybe I'm waiting for an approval or something. So I put that aside, organize it nicely, and create some space to work. I get the paint out, the brushes, the tools that I want to use, and then I'm ready to go. And then I maybe, as a second part of the second step, get a tea, put on a podcast, put on a playlist, do something that settles me into the space and makes me comfortable enough to want to tether myself there instead of finding 10 other things to do, like clean the house, which is my least favorite thing to do, but sometimes I do that because maybe I'm a little bit afraid of the challenge that the project ahead of me has. Tethering myself with a podcast is probably the best thing I can do, and a nice warm cup of tea, especially in the wintertime. Step 3, get the design or get your art onto the canvas or onto your piece of paper. The steps that follow just require you to work in stages. So for instance, with this painting, which I'm trying not to show you the portrait because I want to do a big kind of reveal, but I start with a background. So this is a fairly big piece. It's a 30 by 40 wood panel. I started with this corner. I kind of actually, throughout the whole background, I did the blue and the green, sort of the background of the forest. And then I focused on this corner, and then I focused on sort of this section. And then another day I focused on this section down here, and then another day at the bottom here. Then I focused on the tree another time. So everything's in stages, so it doesn't feel like overwhelm, because there are all these problems that you're solving along the way while you paint or you create something. Creating it's amazingly a lot of brain work. So, and then now I'm working on my portrait here, Diana Beresford Kroger, but I want to do a big reveal, so I'm not showing you yet. And her I'm doing in stages. So I'm doing her hands and face first, and then I've done her clothing, and now I'm kind of going in and correcting and refining and improving until I feel like she's finished and full of expression and just this beautiful person that she is. I want this to show through the painting. And then I'll have other stages because I've got this Celtic knotwork that's masked, and I'm going to have to kind of pull the masking off, which is going to be a challenge. So it's a big piece of art that I'm doing in piecemeal until it's finished. And so by doing it in sort of little stages, it's so much less overwhelming, and I'm doing it. And I put this one off for a while for a bunch of other little pieces of work to do. Guilty of procrastinating? Guilty of not starting? 100%. But you can do it. Best thing I can tell you to do is pick up that pencil and draw. If you're doing it with the how-to videos, you know that when you do the video, you can literally pause it, draw up to the point where that artist is. You can change the speed of the video. You can speed it up if you need it faster, and then just draw along. That's probably a really good way if you're addicted to like watching the how-tos. Do it with the video. As a new artist, documenting your work simply requires you to take a picture of it. You don't have to video it, you don't have to do anything extensive, but it's a good idea, at the very least, to date and sign your work. Always do that. Own it. It's yours. Be proud of it, however imperfect you feel it is. Quite frankly, everything that I do, I feel like I could have done better, but that's the journey of an artist. Every piece of art you do, you learn from, you develop, and you get better. And you change and develop your style and your voice along the way too. So date your work, sign your work so that you can look back on it at a time in the future and say, hey, I have changed, I've gotten better, there's progress. And then you can also say, well, there's progress in this aspect, but maybe not this aspect, and you can decide what it is you want to focus on next to develop your skills, right? So, get started, get drawing, get that pencil out, get the paint, the markers, whatever. You can do it.